Good evening. Welcome all to this special meeting of the Bethel Board of Finance on Tuesday, October 22nd. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a single item on the agenda. I guess we'll start maybe, Eileen give a presentation or a discussion about what we are going to consider, and then we'll give a motion, hopefully get it seconded for discussion purposes, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so basically this is a proposal for replacing the two playgrounds at Parloa, which has been in the capital non-recurring and been in the capital items for my department for several years. We have an opportunity to save money with a grant that Game Time Company and MRC Playground Company does in the fall, most falls of the year. So based on that, we've worked out getting both playground pieces replaced at original cost of $46,508, which the grant would be about almost 30% off, which is $14,149, and with the freight of the equipment, it comes to $35,945, which is a little bit above the $32 that I originally put in, but the original one wasn't replacing both pieces, both structures, and over the past year, we've had to replace several pieces of that playground equipment, and presently one piece has not been replaced yet because I was hoping to get this, and I got a price for the one piece to replace, and it's $1,500. So if we keep on adding anywhere between $500 and $1,500 over the next, it's just gonna keep happening because the equipment's over 20 years old. It's just gonna cost us more to keep it upkeep instead of spending the money and getting the savings and getting both play structures there. So the pictures you have are the two play structures, which will be put fairly close, same locations they are presently now, which is on the bank side of our Parloa opposite the swing. We will connect them with all wood carpet and then hopefully put picnic tables in between the two so that people could sit and watch their kids. The structures are 2 to 5 is the smaller unit, and 5 to 12 is the upper unit. There are no tunnels. It's open. We find that Parloa tunnels are a place for older kids to hide in. So we've alleviated those and try to keep it to, we have replaced the exact same many slides and actually added one to the smaller structure. So, and that is the color scheme that we would prefer. We figured it's bright and nice and exciting, and so.
Eileen, I have a question on the matching funds grant.
Mm-hmm.
It says matching funds.
Well, it says, well, we're matching it because we're gonna pay the 35. It's
Okay.
really like a percentage off. They call it like a matching fund because you have to have the funds available to purchase it before they will take the 30% off.
So does this price include the removal of the?
No, which I was gonna have my staff do with the help of, and then I would also have my staff install.
Okay.
And the only other cost would be to have someone certified playground inspector inspect the equipment before it's open.
Did someone make a motion to discuss, for a discussion? Maybe it does, don't
I thought we'd just, if somebody has a question to Eileen about the presentation, we can ask her, but then for
It's
discussion of the, I guess, the financial aspects of it, we'll
It's-
go after the motion.
You are the chair.
So that's basically what, I think we're at the point where we have to spend the money to replace the equipment.
When would you anticipate delivery?
We're probably looking at 10 weeks, so we could remove the equipment, and then if weather permits, we could try to install as soon as possible or wait until weather permits in the spring.
So you have like storage, you can store it.
Yeah, we can
highway
store
or
it at,
something.
Highway or at McCower or someplace where we can keep it until then.
Does the existing equipment that they'd be removing have any value, scrap metal, scrap?
We could take it to Dell's for some of it, which you usually get something back. But not recycled, like, it's the same thing, it would have to pass inspection and it probably wouldn't, was trying to put it back together the way it is, and as I said, pieces.
Oh, I
are
meant
broken.
more scrap than,
Right,
than reuse.
it's more you could do it for, you can take pieces to Dell's, like the decking and everything if it's all, so.
How about the merry-go-round? Does that go in a
Yep.
museum or something?
No, it's, unless someone wants to take it, but that'll be going, so.
So what's the wood carpet?
That's the wood fiber that we put down all the playgrounds that we presently do now.
So it's a continuous carpet, it's not like pieces, right?
No, it's the wood fiber that we have there now at all the playgrounds, it will just be all together. It's not anything other than what we do presently, so. It's not the rubberized material which some places have, which would add lots to the cost.
Softens the blow.
But,
Softens the blow.
yeah,
Fall.
so, but you do have to put like a good 12 inches of it in, or 15, so.
Eileen, when,
Mhm.
when it says unloading and uncrating of equipment from truck is not included, do you know how much that costs?
Well, that would be my staff with our,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, so not,
We
you
have
know, they don't
unloaded
do
many
it.
of,
You're
we've
on your
unloaded
own.
many of pallets,
Okay,
so.
you're on your own with that, okay, got it. Now, the matching grant, this is, you have to order this by October 30th?
I have to place the order, yes, by October 30th.
And where would you be storing it? Because it seems like it's not gonna be a winter installation, is it? You're not gonna install it in December?
It depends on the weather, so we would be able to find locations to store it in, like, at McCower or
Okay.
Pass Highway for an area. So, it
Okay.
can be outside too, like, we leave it highway on some of those, on the one side that has some of the Sanders go, we could possibly leave it there. 'Cause-
The other thing is, I looked at I have the plans from, I think that was budget year 18-19, and this drawing looks way different than what was ever planned.
As I said, we have the opportunity to replace both playgrounds with getting this grant, which would make it 35,000 instead of the original was 32.
What, the diagrams though, this is supposed to say Parloa Park, this is a diagram for Parloa Park, and this is the one from.
That's, right, I've changed it because I've added
Okay,
being able to do both structures.
So we'd be getting two
This would be
pieces
only one
instead of one?
structure. This is two structures now.
okay, so they don't, this doesn't relate to this?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Two for one.
We went for the different design because we were trying to replace both pieces of equipment.
What are the terms of this grant, just that you order by,
Order by
October
October 30th and you pay in full.
okay. And this is coming out of capital non-recurring?
Well,
Wow.
that's, I think is the plan.
That's our
Yes.
discussion, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, does it require anything special for installation, like no welding, nothing like that? It's just
Nope,
Kinda
nope.
like a quick,
It's like a kid's
Snap
boats
together.
and certain type of boats and everything and as I said, it has to be inspected at the end by certified and
does it need like a pad prepared, like concrete work or anything
just
like that? or
just the tubing, the main post will have sonotube and cement, and they'll all be cemented in. So the main post, and then you hook up the decks, and then the smaller posts will also have cement, but they won't be as big as the other ones.
Now, the existing equipment down at Parlow now, is that safe, usable?
As of right now, there is, except for the one step area is.
Mhm.
So that's part of the reason why I wouldn't wanna replace that, so I'm thinking of using the time in December, if the weather permits, my staff can do that, take it apart and get rid of it, and we can save money doing that.
I'm just confused about the parks. So Parloa Park, are there two separate playgrounds? in
Yeah, there's a
Parloa?
toddler playground that's really small, and then
Yeah.
there's a 5 to 12 playground presently. So
And-
we're replacing both, and they both were installed over 20 years ago.
Yeah, and when you proposed it on your capital plan last year and the year before, were you only replacing not the toddlers with the other one? Is that what you proposed?
Yeah, I just was gonna replace one because of the cost. So I
Have-
found an opportunity to save, to get both replaced with the savings.
Did they approach you, did Game Time approach you with this grant offer?
I've been working with them, the original one was with this company, and then he contacted me saying I have a matching grant. So we've been working together.
now, is this something that, I know someone asked the question, is there value, but do we ever put stuff on government deals to see if like, you know, sometimes there's some weird eclectic collectors
Right.
who'll want like something, I mean.
I mean,
if
the
it's- if it-
merry-go-round might be a possibility for that.
Well,
or,
all I'm
you
saying
know what I
is
mean,
if
but-
if you don't have to take it out till December, it wouldn't hurt to throw it up on there and see
Right.
if someone wants it, and then they take it, and I guess that money
Because
goes
it
into
wants
the
it.
grand list, right? Goes back into the.
Yeah.
town's
General
budget.
fund,
What we
yes.
normally do is we don't just put one item up there, we wait until we have a few different items,
Yeah.
like we did the trucks a few years back. I mean, the grader that was up at Stony Hill, at, the fire department,
I'm just
that
trying to
had
make.
flat
per-
tires and it wasn't even working, and the guy came down from upstate New York with a flatbed and picked it up. He gave us $2,000 for it, I
You might
think.
even get a scrap guy who'll take it for almost
Right,
nothing.
well, I
Save
take
you the
it-
time of taking it down, you
Yeah.
know?
But I've also taken it to Dell's too, someone put some things, so you get money back from that, so.
So it just seems that this is dated, their proposal's dated on the 30th of September. Is this the first time we can get a special meeting?
I got it in September and then I I missed the first meeting, cause I was on vacation. Their first meeting of the month in October, I don't know, it's just has been.
And the Board of Selectmen did approve this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you saw the materials that got sent to us, included was the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes, which I think took place just last week.
Yeah, I
So
missed the
that- that'll
We can-
provide
we
you
can
the
go
time.
tonight.
October, I
We
was
were on
on
vacation.
vacation, the first
Right.
meeting in October,
Mhm.
so.
So,
Again, in the materials that were presented to us in anticipation of this meeting.
because I'm always suspicious of grants, it's just who I am, so my question is, cause this to me, and I'm a cynic, seems more like a sales proposal with, discounts, since it's gone up 10,000 in the past 2 years, 20,000 actually, the price. So, I mean, it sounds like a sales proposal, which
But
is
that
by
was,
discount
the,
almost.
what I had in the 2 years ago is one piece of
Right.
equipment. Now there's 2 pieces of equipment for
I
almost the same price.
I totally get it, except for it's 46.5, if you were to just buy it straight out without the discount. So this is, I call it a discount. 'Cause
It's a
I'm-
percentage off, right?
Right,
It's
so,
a- yeah.
so my question is, what, the matching funds grant comes from where?
It comes from the company, it's a discount from the company. It's just like when you go and use your coupon of 20% off at Bed Bath and Beyond.
Right, but I
That's
don't
what
call
it
that a
is, it's
grant.
basically, but they're calling it a grant.
I know they are.
Because they're saying you have to have the
Sounds
funds
fancier.
available. I couldn't get this grant if I didn't come with them and say, I can pay for it in full at the time.
It's just a, it's a language thing for me, cause of course they would call it a grant, but what is it matching? It's called a matching funds grant, right?
Yeah, I had asked that, and Eileen, I thought, explained it very well.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it's
again, maybe I did so.
that's how they call it, but it's a percentage off. Like if I was getting $120,000 worth of piece of equipment, I could almost get 70% of that off. The more you spend, the higher percentage you are gonna get from the grant.
Oh, so it's a sliding scale.
It's a sliding
Yeah.
scale based on how much you order. So based on this, I'm able to get $46,000 worth of equipment for 35.
So it's like a third,
Yeah, so it's like 30%.
33%.
Mr. Chairman?
31, yes,
Yeah, it's about
I have a
30%.
question.
sure. Sure, okay.
So the
30.4.
bottom line is, the total cost is $35,945.66, correct?
Right, to the town, yes.
Okay, so if it helps, you might wanna just consider this a $14,000 sales incentive. It's a discount.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And
There-
plus,
so
we're
the-
not
so the-
financing it.
The bottom
No,
line
it's-
is, this is not gonna cost more than $35,946.
Eileen,
Yes.
what was your original amount? Wasn't it like $32,000?
Yes.
So we're getting a whole new playground, both pieces replaced for an additional $3,000. Is
Right,
that
cause
correct?
the toddler ones, depends on how big you get, can go for like 15,000 or 20,000.
Right, but just to
So-
be clear, this is only $3,000 more than that we were talking
Originally,
about
right.
last year.
Right.
Thank you.
I'm not trying to belabor it, but I think even in terms of the minutes, I think it needs to be referred to as a discount and not a grant, because it is not a grant.
Well, but Cynthia, on the invoice provided by the vendor, it's described as a funds grant.
Of
If you
course
want
it
to
would
argue
be.
a semantic point,
Yeah, you know why?
there's no substance to
No, but let
that.
me tell you why.
Tell us what the substance is so that we
explain
can
why?
finish this discussion.
May I
please.
explain why it's
Yes, you
important?
can, sure.
Because when the public reads the minutes, they see the word grant, and they think of it differently than a discount.
Well, we won't show them the invoice from the vendor
Well,
that
I'm talking
uses
about
that
the minutes.
terminology.
I'm talking about the minutes. That's what I said, that the minutes would
That's fine, the minutes
refer
will
to it.
reflect that an invoice is submitted by Game Time the vendor showing a 2019 matching funds grant.
Wow, okay.
Why
I
is
don't
that a
know, I'm
problem?
trying to
I
figure
don't
out what-
understand.
I know you don't understand, that's why
So
there's,
explain it,
that's why there's,
please.
I just did.
You did not, what is the concern? What's the downside to them calling it a grant?
Because there are times when, well, first of all, grants implies that it was an application, that it was based on some sort of, I mean, it's like a federal estate.
But this is a company using their verbiage. You're gonna
But-
change their verbiage in
well-
our minutes. Would that be
No, I don't think it
misleading?
should be in the invoice, frankly. Okay, let me tell you this, we've had grants come up before. We had a grant for a senior van. It was gonna cost us $12,000. What was left out of that was that it needed to be manned or driven 40 hours a week. I'm saying that grant implies something different than this arrangement.
It's on the invoice, and no one
That
can have
doesn't
to
make it
drive this for
like God's
24 hours
word.
or be manned. So
Huh?
I take the point, I remember the grant on
Yes, I'm
the
saying there are
van.
surprises.
There's not gonna be anybody who needs to man this equipment.
And there wasn't gonna be
So
an
point
overage on the
taken,
police
point
station,
made,
so.
point, well, that's irrelevant. Right,
It's
look,
not, I'm
it
saying
is.
that it's a
The
language thing,
police
and I feel
station is
strongly
not
about it.
relevant to this
Mhm.
playground equipment.
But
People
to be-
saying it's not gonna happen, happens a lot.
Okay.
Can we make a motion here?
Yeah.
Yep, I already.
I'd like to make a
Hold on,
motion.
hold on. Oh, Brian, got, please, one more.
I was just trying to make the peacemaker here. I mean, you know, the police department, we do get grants from corporations, and it's just called a business grant. So, I mean, it's just kinda, you know, it's just a business grant, so I mean, if that makes
Well, it
it
doesn't say
better.
that, so.
All right, well, I'm just trying to say that
So Brian, can I ask a question?
yes.
If the company sent you a document, an invoice that said matching funds grant, would you call them back and ask them to change that verbiage?
I'm gonna be honest with you, everything I purchase is generally on bid, or it goes through our capital, like the way we set up our budgets are a little bit different, so like Stalker, I'm gonna be honest with you, they don't really do that with me, they just tell me this is the state bid, cause everything we purchase is basically industry standard, so it's very unusual for us to make a purchase, but it isn't unusual for like, some like the big companies, it's called a business grant, so like if it's a radar trailer, they'll say business grant, and it's a business grant. I understand Cynthia's point that people may confuse it with the federal grants where we have, because honestly, when I first read grant, I was gonna ask, if this is already in the budget, we have to be careful that we're not supplanting funds. And then I read and I understood what it was. I said, okay, it's the company offering the grant. So I understand just because I do it all the time, you know, but I do understand Cynthia's
But
point.
it's a police department, not a board of finance for an entire town. You know what it is inside your department.
I'm just saying, in the beginning, I understand your point. When I first saw it, I said, oh, are we supplanting funds? And when I read a little bit further, I understood that it was a business.
I got it. Thank you for sharing that.
I'm going to make a motion to approve the game time proposal in an amount not to exceed $35,945.66 from the capital non-recurring account. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any further discussion?
What's the balance in our account? Capital non-reoccurring?
And when you look at all the years, 478, 274, and 38 cents.
478,000 roughly.
That we have to spend?
You don't have to spend it.
How much are you allowed to carry over from capital non?
We carry it over.
Is-
This
doesn't
goes
matter,
back a number of
you're allowed
years.
to keep it.
Yeah.
It's been carried over from 2012. Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Since we have no further business, entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn?
Got a second on that?
Second.
All right, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Eileen, thank you for finding
Oh,
that.
thank
Like,
you.
2 for 1 deal.